Good evening, the luminaries from the Luhana community. Thank you for inviting me here. Greetings from Transworld Group and welcome to Dubai. To follow such a powerful speaker like Mr. Mihir, it's very difficult, because the talk, the impact that it has made, we are still in the hangover. So please bear with me. My presentation will be very, very brief. The context of today's discussion is logistics and digitalization. So if you trace back to history, the first mention of logistics we could find was in the Bhagavad Gita. There is a shloka which says, Samyak sarati iti samsaraha. That which flows incessantly is creation. So basically, what is logistics? It's basically motion. The earth, sun, planets, all of these instruments of nature are in continuous motion, which is a universal law. And as far as business is concerned, logistics is the engine that sets the wheel in motion. And on a hindsight, as we take the creation, the rotation of earth for granted, many a times in the business, we take logistics for granted without realizing the importance of it. Talking about digitalization, opening to change is letting go of your ego, expectations, and fear. Change is inevitable and will continue to happen irrespective of time. By establishing a deeper level of consciousness, we can navigate through the change more gracefully. AI and digitalization was always at our doorstep. It's not something that is new, that has come forth. So what is AI? You see that there is so much of literature, so much of talk happening about artificial intelligence. And there is also a fear that is created that AI is like an alien which is going to take away the jobs, which is going to replace the human intellect. But having said that, actually, I would term AI not as artificial intelligence, but as applied intelligence. If you look at the past, when my grandmother started using the remote control, setting an alarm for a favorite cereal, she was using AI. So AI has been there right from the ATM machines, and it will go on to happen. So we don't need to be fearful of AI. It's only basic common sense that we embrace AI, because things are not going to stop. The Gen Zs of today, the youngsters of today, they have grown up in apps. They have grown up ordering food on apps. They have never been to, except for Mumbai Express, I don't think they would have gone to any other hotel. So we need to be prepared, as the employees of tomorrow, as the customers of tomorrow. You can't tell them to work on outdated manual systems. We need to, as organizations, we need to be embracing change and artificial intelligence. Talking about the impact of AI on logistics, close to 2 trillion has been the contribution that is expected AI and digitalization is going to generate per annum over the next 20 years. And in the past, successful implementation of digitalization has resulted in reduction in the logistics cost by 15%, inventory levels by 35%, and service levels by 65%. Now talking about Transworld, there is a lot of literature available about AI and digitalization, so I wouldn't dwell into it. But I wanted to present a small case study about how at Transworld we are trying in this journey of integrating the physical infrastructure and the digital infrastructure. To talk about Transworld Group, we are a shipping and logistics conglomerate. The company was established in 1977 in Mumbai. Very much similar, the story of our founding father, late Sri Sivaswamy. The current chairman of the company, Mr. Ramesh Ramakrishnan, and his son, Mr. Ritesh, who is a managing director, is very similar to the story of Sri Mihir. Started off in a small 100 square feet office in Mumbai. And the dream of our founding father was that he should be owning a ship. Today, we are a major ship owner in the shipping community. We have a fleet of 30 ships, container ships, bulk carriers, and tankers. And since then, we have also diversified into the various segments of supply chain and logistics. Recent diversifications has been into aviation, where we have a fleet of private jets, and also in the food processing sector, we have a factory in Baroda, which has started recently. So the case study which I would like to present today is how we are trying to integrate the food and the logistics infrastructure, the digital, the connect between two aspects and bringing out with a consolidated product to a customer. So here we call it an integrated one Transworld ecosystem, which basically you can call it from farm to fork. So what we are trying to do here is that we are neither a pure vanilla logistics company or a vanilla food processing company. We are trying to combine both, connecting the farmer where everything starts, the raw material is procured, which is sustainability sourced, there is a carbon footprint that is there, and on the back of our own assets, we transport it, we carry out the logistics part to the food processing factory that is there in Gujarat now, and we have got plans to set up all across the country and also in the UAE. Do the process part there. Again, we get into either a domestic distribution or an export or an import cycle, as it may be. Once it reaches the destination, we have the 3PL infrastructure, the cold storages, the transport network that is there, which does the complete movement of goods and the clearances, the custom clearance department. And then we can get either into a B2B or a B2C model. So from farm to fork, so end consumer, we are trying to connect to the farmer where it all originates. So how do we use AI in these different elements? I would like to present briefly. So where it starts basically is harvesting the produce. So we have satellite, we are trying to use satellite-enabled agri-intelligence, which can give us weather projections for the year, the crop health reporting, the crop yield predictions. So all this is available, this technology is available at fingertips today. This is very useful not only for us, but also for the end consumers. The bulk manufacturers or the consumers across the globe, we pass this information to them so that they can plan out their procurement. Then we have real-time farm data intelligence, which talks about the soil health, the moisture levels, and real-time crop health pictures. So we are trying to introduce bots, which is there physically in the farm, or small robots, which can measure these key elements as the crop is growing. And then, of course, in terms of maintenance, we have picture-based remedial suggestions, pest and rodent management, which is very, very critical. Now, this part is very critical, especially when we are talking about exporting outside, because the residue levels are very, very strict. And any higher residual level that is found, the entire consignment can get rejected. The next part is after harvest, we go into crafting. So what we do essentially is we do the processing of food. So from a raw food to IQF, which is instant quick freeze, freeze drying or blast freezing, or getting into the ready to eat and ready to cook segment, that is done in the factory. Again, that's not just a physical activity we do. There is a lot of technology that is used in terms of the product size, ripeness, color, and taste. We have got clear mandates from our consumers as to what should be these dimensions. Yield projection based on produce quality, depending on the raw material that we have produced, we can decide on what will be the yield, and then suggestions on upcycling wastage into byproducts. AI and machine learning, we have got different machines in our factory which talk to each other, which brings about a basic synchronization, because different products have got different production treatments, but these machines are so geared that we can automate it and we can customize it. And it also allows us in improving the efficiencies in energy consumption. The next part is on quality assurance and control, which is the most important element, where we have got technology that measures the quality, the size, the taste, the chemical components in each of the products. And of course, we have got AI for innovation, which talks about the product, cuisine, packaging. The last part is AI and deliver. This is where the logistics comes into play. How do we bring in an ease of doing business for the customer, where we have got AI-powered predictive analytics, career performance, route performance, AI-powered chartboard support. So logistics being the backbone of Transworld Group, this is our core business. This is the strength we bring to the end customers, that you don't have to bother just about getting the produce from us, but also in terms of procuring and delivering, we are there for you. So it's been a long journey in digitalization. Talking about our group, we have been pioneers in various aspects. In 1983, we were the first feeder operators between India and UAE. Early 90s, we started the coastal shipping in India right from Gujarat right up to West Bengal. In those days, it was all by road. But we replaced the road transportation today, close to 60% of the market share we handle. And even in terms of digitalization, in early 1990s, in the shipping industry, we were at the forefront of digitalization. So today, as we talk, what we have is an integrated customer experience where right from the customer inquiry to booking of the cargo to documentation with complete traceability, tracking, and transactional ease. That is what we are able to give to the end customer. The transformation has led to close to 70% of reduction in manual effort and 30% in documentation management. So in a nutshell, the reason I'm bringing these two elements together is that everyone today is into AI, into digitalization. Today, if you go to a rickshaw driver, he's using the UPI for the payment. But what we are trying to project here is that how the future is going to shape up. We cannot work in isolation. So we are trying to integrate the shipping, logistics, and the food industry. So to conclude, we are in the physical world. Physical world is very, very important. You cannot replace physical. The touch and feel is always there. Digitalization is there to enable the experience to the customer, and that is what is the reality of tomorrow, which is phygital. Having said this, while technology will enable better productivity, ease of doing business, the most important factor we should not forget is the human connect and the human touch. That is something in the midst of all this advancements that is happening, we should not allow IVRs to replace human voice, because business is not just about making money. Business is also about relationships and bring in a better good for the whole community. Thank you.